Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the NXT review for the 7th of December 2010. As mentioned, we are going through these kind of backwards, so to speak. Anyway, obviously, the pros come out, and Maurice and Ted DiBiase Jr., who's a guy that's quite lost, comes out with their pro, and Dolph Ziggler comes out with Jacob Novak. Unfortunately, we don't get to the real better part of NXT until season 6, so we've got about 70 or so, 75 maybe, episodes more of this elimination style. I will be very happy when all of that is done. Johnny Curtis introduces himself looking like a complete white babyface, basically praising his coach. From, I think, fourth grade, Byron Saxton, who had been an announcer, is praising the fact that he knows this is his time. Derek Bateman, who ends up becoming EC3, comes off kind of goofy. I did not realize that he had been in this particular edition of things. Then Conor O'Brien, who later becomes part of the Ascension, basically does the thing where he considers himself a rat. I don't know where that gimmick's coming from. Basically, all these hypes are, goofy promos. Byron Saxton talks about being a former announcer on on ECW brand. Says he finally learns he wanted to be a wrestler, and why he learns that late, who knows? Anyway, rookie challenge match eventually becomes Jacob Novak and Johnny Curtis. Of course, Johnny Curtis later becomes Fandango and has a 14, 13-year run with the WWE up until recently, within the last few weeks. Curtis is a guy that I came up with in the New England Independents and certainly had a lot of talent and ability there. Novak is a guy I did not remember from this time period at all, and looks like he had a good look. Surprised he didn't go further. Anyway, tip up and over, and Curtis hits a hard European style uppercut, misses the attempted shot into the midsection there, and Curtis manages, hits the shoulder tackle. There's a miscommunication on the attempt of a backslide, gets the backslide up and over, doesn't get all he wants on it, but gets enough. Does Johnny Curtis kick to the midsection a couple times, and there is a wedgie, and then follows up with a back suplex. Dolph Ziggler, who is the pro of Novak, is happy with that back suplex, to say the very least. Grind down, very basic maneuver with a long-term chin lock, and R-Truth, who is the pro for Johnny Curtis, is upset on the outside. Curtis, though, does manage to get a victory about halfway through this particular program, and includes his top rope leg drop. Brodus Clay is up next as a pro. He's talking a great deal about being a bodyguard and doing whatever it takes to get victories, doing whatever it takes to be dominant, and so forth and whatever. Then we see literally guys climbing a ladder for the sake of speed as a elimination style competition. Don't know where that would be worthwhile, but it's here. Needless to say, that is the benefit of wasting time on an internet program, apparently. Jacob Novak does the capture the flag victory, which is the idea of climbing the ladder, is the game of capture the flag, because, well, we're third grade children. Anyway, dissension between Maurice and Ted DiBiase Jr. after highlights of Raw that goes on as a feature film for a good bit. Brodus Clay wants to talk to Ted DiBiase. DiBiase is having more trouble with his female companion than anything else. Chris Masters is the pro for Byron Saxton. They basically talk about body work, and then there we go. Off we go into Daniel Bryan with Derek Bateman. Bateman, of course, as mentioned earlier, EC3 at a later point. Daniel Bryan, the U.S. champion at a time when the belt looks bigger than the waist of Daniel Bryan by a large amount. Anyway, And I believe this ends up being a tag match with Bateman and O'Brien as the rookies, and Alberto Del Rio and Daniel Bryan as the pros. O'Brien using some basic strikes, knees, and then a sloppy chin lock along the way here. Bateman coming up, hitting a couple of things, not exactly getting everything he wants on that. The power and size of Conor O'Brien seems to be a major sticking point here. Snaps him over and doesn't get everything he wants out of that. Believe it or not, for a good bit of time, O'Brien is in control of the tempo of the match, tag off, and Daniel Bryan cleans house for a couple of minutes. Bateman comes back in and hits a dive to the outside because we need guys on Rookie Show to be doing dives, even though apparently they're just learning how to wrestle. Tag back to Daniel Bryan. Bryan comes in, hits the dropkick in the corner, among other things, and keeps things going. Daniel Bryan hits that dropkick in the corner, and for the most part, keeps things going. Del Rio, who, looking at him as a person, not exactly a fan of that deal, but anyway, cinches him up and almost gets a pin on Daniel Bryan. Don't know if they were feuding at the time because it's nearly 11, 12 years ago now, but anyway, cleaning of house on Del Rio by Derek Bateman. Bateman then with a dropkick in the corner of his own, gets a near fall, doesn't get what he wants on it, gets enough to hold him at bay for a minute, but Del Rio goes up and around, and then a spinning neck breaker by Bateman, who manages to get kicked in the head by O'Brien with about 2 minutes left in the match. Daniel Bryan does a dive to the outside, taking out O'Brien, leaving Del Rio and Bateman alone in the ring together, just about to close things out. And there that goes as well. Back elbow by Bateman. Bateman manages to miss a crossbody and get tied up in an armbar, and Alberto Del Rio gets the victory by submission. As we close this particular program, we will be back with more right after this.